I grew up in a really creative environment. My father is a well-known fine art photographer, and my mother a very well-known graphic designer. Many people ask me about the influence my father has had on my work, he being a photographer and I also working with photography. Many people also overlook the influence my mother had on me. She was initially a painter, and I learned most of what I understand about offset printing from her as well. Right now we're in my gallery. This is a tremendous tool for me. I consider it a vacuum that I have to fill every year. When I first saw digital technology, it was in the late 70s. My mother was overseeing the production of Elliott Porter's Intimate Landscapes book. We got a tour of the Cytex room. They showed me what those machines could do, and instantly I thought, that's the medium for me. I left the room with an uneasy feeling because my mother called these things $1,000,000 coloring books. And I kept thinking, how on earth am I going to get my hands on a $1,000,000 coloring book? Working with service bureaus was necessary in the early days when technology was much more expensive. Now that it's so much more affordable, I can exert a level of control on my final product that is really necessary for achieving the highest level of excellence that I can. One of the primary frustrations in making the digital transition has been financial. Initially, when I saw the technology, it cost millions of dollars and was completely inaccessible. Later, when it became accessible, it took a second mortgage, but that second mortgage launched my career. As time has gone on, not only has the quality increased to staggering levels, but the price has dropped as well. Imagine being able to afford a printer like mine, the Epson 9900, for under $6,000. I can make 44-inch prints of almost any length. Extraordinary versatility, extraordinary quality. That seems like a very good investment to me. When I first began using the Ultrachrome HDR ink set, I was astonished by the saturated color. I have this one image of a very bright yellow-orange sunset. The colors on the print actually look richer and more saturated than what you can see on the monitor. Those specific colors, when printed, actually exceed the gamut of the monitor. As an artist, I would never sacrifice quality for convenience or speed, and yet, with the Epson 9900 being so fast and so quiet, extremely convenient and easy to use, there is a downside to speed. In the old days, when computers and printers were slower, I used to set something going and then use my weight machine, which I kept very close to my gear. Now the stuff is so fast that I'm losing a little bit of tone here because I'm not getting to my weight machine as frequently. Prints are just coming out faster. Gradation is a key component to my work. Smooth blends and transitions between colors are extremely important. So the new print heads not only render exceptional detail and clarity, but they also provide beautifully smooth transitions. You don't see a grainy dot structure moving from a very saturated color into another, or from a very dark color into a light color. You see very smooth blends with an almost invisible dot. In reproducing my work, I'm looking for very specific things. A surface that doesn't get in the way of experiencing the image. I'm looking for something that's low gloss and that has a very smooth, untextured surface so you can get directly to the image without having to work through either something behind or in front of the image. Just get right to the image. So I love the matte surfaces that are extremely smooth. These are very organic, sensual materials, and yet they also allow a reproduction of very smooth gradation, very crisp detail. Really lovely materials to look at. I'm excited about the new Epson hot press papers in combination with the HDR ink. We're getting more saturated color, slightly better black. It's a beautiful surface with a great white. Scale is exceptionally important in any work. It's become increasingly important in today's contemporary art market, where the tendency is to print larger and larger images as prices escalate. The ability to make larger and larger prints, in my case 44 inches or even wider, has been not only an important market consideration, but also an important aspect of creating the most expressive print that's possible. Much of my work deals with large spaces, and so large prints really communicate that sense of spaciousness and immersion.